I'm thrilled to see so many familiar faces here, as well as some new ones, ready to share in a conversation that I believe is essential to our growth as individuals and as a community. Tonight, we're going to talk about a simple yet profound concept: without pain, there is no growth. Let me start with a story from my own life. Some years ago, I faced a series of professional setbacks that felt like a small avalanche had hit my career. Projects I cared deeply about were stalled, and relationships I valued in my professional circle were strained. During that time, I felt a kind of emotional exhaustion that was both unfamiliar and overwhelming. It was a period filled with doubts, self-questioning, and yes, quite a bit of pain. But looking back now, I see those painful months as a tremendous gift. Why? Because that was the season I learned resilience is not about how quickly you bounce back, but how deeply you're willing to dive into the experiences that shape you. I learned that sometimes the only way to move forward is to allow yourself to feel that discomfort, to sit with it, and to understand what it is trying to teach you. Now, let me ask you all something. Have you ever faced a moment in your life where everything seemed to be falling apart, where you felt that no matter what you did, you couldn't turn things around? Keep that moment in mind as we talk tonight. Pain, as I've come to understand it, is not just an indicator that something is wrong. It is also a signal, a beacon calling us to a greater understanding of who we are and what we are capable of. It demands our attention, and rightly so. Without these signals, without recognizing and responding to them, growth is not just stunted. It's often impossible. Every major breakthrough in history, every great societal leap forward came after periods of profound discomfort and dissatisfaction. So if we yearn to grow, to improve not just our own lives, but also the world around us, we must learn to see pain not as an enemy, but as a guide. In embracing our pains, we are not merely surviving. We are transforming. Transformation is not about shedding our past, but about integrating our experiences to propel us forward. It requires action, awareness, and sometimes the courage to face what we most fear. Tonight, I encourage you not only to listen, but to engage, to reflect on your own moments of pain and the growth that came from them. As we share our stories and strategies, I invite you to consider how your own struggles have prepared you for bigger battles, how they have made you not just stronger, but more compassionate, more resilient, more fully alive. This understanding of pain and growth is not just theoretical. It's intensely practical. It's about how we meet our daily challenges, how we handle setbacks in our relationships, our careers, and our personal aspirations. It's about the decisions we make in the face of adversity. Not just the big, life-changing decisions, but also the small choices that shape our days. So as we move forward this evening, let's keep in mind that growth is not a destination, but a process. And pain is not a detour in the journey of life. It's part of the path itself. How we walk that path, how we meet those pains, makes all the difference in the kind of people we become. Let's take this opportunity to learn from each other, to inspire each other, and to grow together. Let's start by sharing some of the ways we've each found to transform our challenges into stepping stones for growth. Who would like to begin? Let's consider for a moment the different kinds of pain we encounter in our lives. Pain is not a monolith. It doesn't come in just one flavor. We experience it physically, perhaps as a twinge in the back after a long day's work or a headache that seems to clamp down our thoughts. There's emotional pain, like the heartache of a lost love or the deep sorrow of bereavement. And then there's psychological pain, the stress that comes from overwork, the anxiety of facing something new, or the depression that can weigh us down like a heavy cloak. Each of these pains while distinct, share a common thread. They are universal. No one is exempt from experiencing pain. It's woven into the fabric of being human. It's something that connects us, a common language that at some point every one of us speaks fluently. I invite you to think about this. Isn't it somewhat comforting to know that you're not alone in your experience? That everyone you meet understands pain in some... Now you might wonder, why do we need to feel pain? What purpose does it serve? Well, pain is more than just a signal that something is amiss in our bodies or our lives. It's also a catalyst for change. It draws our attention to what might need adjustment. Without pain, would we recognize the problems in our relationships, our careers, or within ourselves? Would we feel motivated to change paths if everything felt fine as it is? Imagine for a moment a world without pain. At first, it might seem like a paradise, a place where nothing ever goes wrong. But let's delve deeper. In such a world, would we grow? Would we feel compelled to improve ourselves or our surroundings? Pain, in its own harsh way, fosters growth and innovation. It pushes us beyond our comfort zones, teaching us resilience and strength. Think about a time when you faced a significant challenge. Consider the discomfort and the struggle. Now, think about how you overcame it. What did you learn? How did you grow? Often, we find that our greatest lessons and most profound growth come from our most challenging experiences. Let's take a simple example. Have you ever learned a new skill? Remember the initial struggles, the failures, the frustration? Wasn't it painful? But through that pain, you likely found a way to adapt, to improve. Perhaps you sought guidance, practiced diligently, or changed your approach. And through that process, you grew not just in skill, but in character. You became more patient. And it's not just about overcoming obstacles. It's about what these obstacles prepare us for. Each challenge, each pain point in our lives equips us with the tools and wisdom to face future challenges. They are stepping stones, not stumbling blocks, shaping us into individuals capable of handling whatever life throws our way. So as we gather here today, let us not shy away from discussing our pains. Instead, let us embrace them as integral parts of our journey. Pain is inevitable, but how we respond to it, that's where our power lies. We can choose to see pain as a destructive force, or we can choose to see it as a constructive one, a force that tears down only to rebuild stronger than before. Now, I'd like to open up the floor. How have you experienced pain in your life, or what did it teach you? How did it change your perspective or your actions? Sharing these experiences not only helps us feel connected, but it also reinforces the idea that from pain comes growth, a reminder that we are all in this together, continually learning, adapting, and evolving. Throughout history, countless individuals have demonstrated that growth often springs from the soil of struggle and adversity. These stories not only inspire us, but they also provide clear examples of the profound impact of facing and overcoming pain. Take, for example, Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors of the modern era. Edison's journey wasn't a smooth ride of continuous success. Instead, it was marked by failures, setbacks, and, of course, pain. He famously tried thousands of ways to invent a viable electric light bulb, each failure bringing with it its own kind of disappointment. But with each failure, Edison famously said he learned ways not to invent the electric light bulb, thereby coming closer to the ultimate solution. His persistence through pain and failure teaches us an invaluable lesson. Real progress often comes after numerous defeats. And what matters most is not how often we are knocked down, but how we rise. Or consider the story of Frida Kahlo, the renowned Mexican artist known for her unique painting style and her vivid depictions of pain. Frida's life was riddled with physical pain stemming from a severe bus accident in her youth, which led to numerous medical issues and procedures throughout her life. Yet, it was through this pain that her art found its voice. Frida transformed her pain into a visual language that spoke volumes about her inner and outer worlds. Her ability to channel her physical and emotional suffering into her art teaches us that our greatest trials can give rise to our most profound expressions of creativity. And then there's Nelson Mandela, whose story is a testament to the power of resilience and forgiveness. Mandela spent 27 years in prison, much of it under harsh conditions because he fought against apartheid in South Africa. The pain of those lost years could have turned him bitter. Instead, he emerged as a beacon of forgiveness and set about the task of healing a nation. From his story, we learn that no matter the depth of our struggles, we can emerge with a greater capacity for compassion and leadership. Now, reflect on these examples. What do they have in common? Each of these individuals faced immense challenges and pain. Yet, instead of being defeated by their circumstances, they used their experiences as catalysts for personal growth and societal change. Each story underscores a powerful lesson. It is not our pain that defines us. So how do we apply these lessons in our own lives? It starts with recognizing that, like Edison, our failures are merely steps along the path to success. We must embrace the idea, as Frida Kahlo did, that our unique experiences of pain can be transformed into something profoundly beautiful and impactful. And following Mandela's example, we must learn that forgiveness and compassion are powerful responses to suffering, both for healing ourselves and for healing our relationships with others. Now, I invite you to think about the adversities you faced in your own life. How have these shaped you? Have they discouraged you, or have they pushed you to find new solutions, to reach out to others, or to see the world differently? Share your experiences. How did you turn a painful episode into a stepping stone for personal growth? This dialogue is not just about sharing stories. It's about recognizing that within each of us lies the potential to transform our pain into a powerful narrative of endurance and resilience, just like the great figures in history. Let's take inspiration from their lives and see our challenges as opportunities to grow and to shape not just our destinies, but the world around us. Let's remember that these stories aren't just tales from the past. They are mirrors reflecting back to us the timeless truth that pain, when embraced, can lead to the most unexpected and rewarding paths of growth. Let's discuss and learn from each other, continuing this journey of transformation together. Growth is a concept that resonates deeply in all aspects of our lives, yet its definition can vary widely depending on our individual goals and experiences. In a personal context, growth might mean developing stronger emotional resilience or a deeper sense of self-awareness. Professionally, it could be about advancing our skills or achieving new milestones in our careers. Spiritually, growth often involves an expanded sense of connection with others and the world around us, or a deeper understanding of our own beliefs and values. But how do we achieve this growth? It often begins with facing challenges that seem to push us to our limits. When we encounter pain, whether it's emotional, physical, or psychological, it forces us to confront parts of ourselves that we may have ignored or avoided. This confrontation isn't just about acknowledging our pain, but about understanding what it can teach us. It's about exploring our boundaries, testing our resilience, and ultimately expanding our capacities. This brings us to the concept of a growth mindset, a term coined by psychologist Carol Dweck. A growth mindset is the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed with time, effort, and dedication. When we adopt a growth mindset, we embrace challenges persist through obstacles, learn from criticism, and seek out inspiration in others' successes. This mindset is particularly relevant when dealing with pain because it shifts our focus from "I can't do this" to "I can learn from this." Now consider how our perception of pain affects our growth. Our perceptions can shape our reality, influencing how we react to and interact with the world. If we view pain as purely negative, something to be avoided at all costs, we might miss out on the valuable lessons and growth opportunities it presents. By reframing our perception of pain from an obstacle to an opportunity, we open ourselves up to new possibilities for personal development. How do you typically perceive challenges in your life? As barriers or as opportunities to grow? Take a moment to think about this. Reflecting on your answer might provide insights into how your mindset affects your ability to navigate difficult situations and grow from them. Let's look at practical ways to shift our perceptions and embrace a growth-oriented approach. Recognizing and accepting your pain is the first step towards transforming it into growth. Denying it only delays the inevitable need to deal with it. Every challenge carries a lesson. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? This question can shift your focus from the pain itself to the potential for personal development. Set growth goals. Instead of setting goals to simply overcome pain, set goals that focus on what you want to learn or how you want to grow from the experience. Resilience isn't about never feeling pain. It's about learning how to recover from setbacks. Building resilience can involve practices like mindfulness, maintaining a hopeful outlook, and seeking support from others. Growth often comes in small increments. Celebrating small victories along the way can motivate you to continue pushing through challenges. These strategies not only help us to better manage pain, but also empower us to use it as a catalyst for significant personal growth. By adopting a growth mindset and shifting our perceptions of pain, we can transform potentially crippling challenges into powerful opportunities for personal development. As we continue this discussion, I encourage you to think about ways you can apply these ideas in your own life. Consider the current challenges you face. How might viewing them through the lens of growth change your approach? How could it change the outcomes? Together, let's embrace the idea that growth is not just a result of overcoming pain, but is deeply intertwined with experiencing and understanding it. Let's encourage each other to shift our perceptions, adopt a growth mindset, and approach life's inevitable pains with curiosity and openness. By doing so, we not only enhance our own lives, but also contribute to a more compassionate, resilient, and growth-oriented community. Let's share some thoughts on this. What is one area in your life where you can start applying a growth mindset today? Let's discuss and learn from each other's perspectives. Pain in its many forms can often seem like an insurmountable barrier. However, with the right strategies, we can transform it into a powerful catalyst for personal growth and resilience. Let's explore some practical ways to do this. One effective method is journaling. Writing down your thoughts and feelings can be a therapeutic way to process what you're going through. It allows you to express yourself freely and reflect on your experiences. But more than just a release, journaling can help you track your growth over time and identify patterns in your thoughts and behaviors that you might want to change. Think of it as a map that shows you where you've been and guides you to where you want to go. Mindfulness is another key strategy. It involves being present and fully engaged with whatever we are doing, free from distraction or judgment. By practicing mindfulness, whether through meditation, mindful walking, or simply breathing deeply and consciously, we learn to observe our pain without getting overwhelmed by it. This can help us understand our pain better and integrate it into our life's narrative in healthier ways. Seeking support is crucial, too. This could be professional support from counselors or therapists, or it could be the support of friends, family, or support groups. Sharing your struggles with others who understand and care can alleviate the weight of your pain. It's often in the shared spaces of our vulnerabilities that we find not only comfort, but also solutions that we might not have reached on our own. Let me share a story that brings these strategies to life. There's a woman I know, let's call her Sarah, who went through a devastating loss when she lost her partner. The pain was immense, and for a while it seemed to define her entire existence. But Sarah started to write in a journal. Initially, it was just a release, a way to pour out her heart. But over time, she began to notice a shift. She wrote about her pain, yes, but also about her memories, her gratitude, and her hope. Gradually, her journal became a place of healing. Sarah also joined a grief support group, where she found others who were walking similar paths. Sharing her story and hearing theirs brought new insights and gradually a sense of community and a realization that she was not alone in her journey. Through these practices, Sarah developed a resilience that even she had not anticipated. Her experience illustrates beautifully how integrating practices like journaling, mindfulness, and seeking support can transform pain into a stepping stone for growth. Now think about your own life. Is there a pain point or challenge you're currently facing that might benefit from these strategies? How can you apply journaling, mindfulness, or seeking support to better navigate this challenge? Building resilience is not about never feeling pain or discomfort. Rather, it's about becoming more adaptable, able to meet challenges with a sense of confidence, and emerging on the other side not just intact but improved. Resilience can be fostered through small, daily practices, setting realistic goals, maintaining routines, taking care of your physical health, and staying connected with others. These strategies don't just help us survive. They help us thrive. They transform our pain from a shadow that trails behind us into a guide that leads the way. This transformation isn't just about finding relief from suffering. It's about learning how to turn suffering into a force that moves us forward. I encourage you to consider these tools. How might they fit into your life? Are there small steps you can take today that might help you start transforming your pain into growth? Let's open up the floor for discussion. I'd love to hear your thoughts or experiences related to these strategies. How have you managed pain and what have you learned from it? Your stories are powerful, not just for you, but for everyone here. They remind us that though the path is difficult, it is also rich with possibility. It's natural to want to avoid pain. Our instinct often tells us to turn away from discomfort, to shield ourselves from anything that hurts. Yet if we're striving for real growth, engaging directly with our pain isn't just helpful. This evening, I want to talk about why facing our pain can be the most profound step we take toward growth, and how we can actively engage with it. When we talk about engaging with pain, we're not simply enduring it. We're actively exploring it, understanding its roots, and learning how to manage its influence over us. This process requires courage and commitment, but it is also deeply rich. By facing our pain directly, we open ourselves to profound insights and the possibility of true transformation. Let's consider some techniques that can facilitate this engagement. Meditation is a powerful tool. It invites us to sit with our thoughts and feelings without judgment. In the stillness of meditation, we can observe our pain with compassion rather than. This practice can help us detach from the intensity of our emotions and see our situation more clearly. Reflective practices like journaling or creative expression also allow us to explore our pain in a controlled, therapeutic environment. Writing down what hurts doesn't just release some of the emotional pressure. It can also shift our perspective, helping us find new solutions to old problems. Similarly, expressing our pain through art or music can uncover emotions that are too complex or deep for words. Community involvement offers another vital way to engage with our pain. By connecting with others, sharing our stories, and listening to theirs, we realize we're not alone. This connection can be incredibly comforting and empowering. It reassures us that our struggles are part of the human experience, shared and understood by others. Now, I'd like to guide you through a brief reflective exercise. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. If not, simply lower your gaze. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and let it out slowly. As you continue to breathe deeply, think about an area in your life where you're experiencing pain or difficulty. Picture this area as a small, contained light within. What is this pain trying to tell me? What is it about this situation that I need to understand better? Don't rush this process. Just let your thoughts flow naturally. Now think about what steps you might take to engage more deeply with this pain. What could you learn from it? How might understanding this pain lead to growth? Take another deep breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes or lift your gaze. Reflecting on these questions might not solve the problems immediately, but it can start a process of healing, understanding, and eventually growth. This kind of engagement isn't easy. It takes time and patience, but the rewards are worth the effort. By facing our pain, we don't just learn to cope, we learn to thrive. We transform our pain into wisdom, and that wisdom into growth. As you leave here tonight, I encourage you to think about these techniques and how they might be applied in your life. Consider the areas where you might be avoiding pain and ask yourself what might change if you decided to engage with it instead. Remember, each step you take to confront and understand your pain is a step towards a more fulfilled and resilient self. Your willingness to explore these difficult topics is the first step toward transforming your pain into something powerful. Let's continue to support each other in this process, sharing our experiences and our growth. Together we can turn our challenges into our greatest opportunities. As we draw our time together to a close tonight, let's take a moment to reflect on the journey we've embarked upon. We began by exploring the inevitable nature of pain and its various forms, physical, emotional, and psychological. We acknowledge that pain is a universal experience, an undeniable aspect of the human condition that each person in this room has faced at one time or another. We then traverse through history, drawing inspiration from individuals like Thomas Edison, Frida Kahlo, and Nelson Mandela, who demonstrated that our greatest challenges can lead to our most profound growth. Their stories not only serve as a testament to human resilience, but also as a blueprint for our own responses to pain. We discuss the mechanisms of growth through pain, emphasizing the importance of adopting a growth mindset and understanding that our abilities and resilience can be developed through dedication and hard work. We talked about the transformative power of changing our perceptions of pain, from being merely obstacles to viewing them as opportunities for profound personal development. Tonight, we also explored actionable strategies to harness pain for growth through journaling, mindfulness, and seeking support, each providing a pathway to not just cope with pain, but to thrive from it. We engaged in reflective exercises to better understand and articulate our own experiences of pain, learning how to turn personal trials into catalysts for personal transformation. As we prepare to part ways, I urge each of you not to see this as an end, but as a beginning of a deeper engagement with your own experiences of pain a renewed commitment to growth, and a new perspective on the challenges you face. Embrace your pain, understand it, learn from it, and let it guide you to become not only what you are, but what you have the potential to be. Let this not just be something you heard, but something you carry with you, something that encourages you to act, to change, to grow. Start small if you must. Pick one strategy we discussed and apply it this coming week. Whether it's journaling your thoughts, practicing 10 minutes of mindfulness each day, or reaching out for support, begin somewhere. I thank you all for your openness, your engagement, and your willingness to explore these not-so-easy topics with me tonight. Remember, the growth we've talked about isn't hypothetical. It's real, it's achievable, and it's waiting for you just on the other side of your comfort zone. So, as you step out into the night, into your lives beyond these walls, take a piece of what you've learned, a fragment of the shared human experience you felt here, and use it to light your way forward. Let's continue to reflect, to question, and to grow. Together, let's transform our pain into our greatest strength. The way we perceive pain has a profound impact on how we experience it and ultimately how we grow from it. Our perceptions can either be barriers that confine us or gateways that lead to new levels of understanding and personal evolution. Consider for a moment how a shift in perspective can transform a situation. Imagine facing a significant challenge. Perhaps it's a setback in your career, a relationship difficulty, or a personal loss. If we view these challenges purely as obstacles, our natural response may be frustration, fear, or despair. But what if we viewed them instead as opportunities for learning and growth? Suddenly, the emotional landscape shifts. We move from feeling victimized by our circumstances to being energized by the possibilities for change and new learning. This shift in perception doesn't minimize the pain or the challenge. Rather, it enables us to engage with it more constructively. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. This is not just a clever turn of phrase. It's a powerful truth about human psychology. Now let's delve into some practical advice on how to reframe our challenges as opportunities. The first step is to acknowledge our initial perceptions without judgment. Recognize how you typically react to difficulties. Do you tend to focus on potential losses or failures? Being aware of this pattern is crucial to altering it. Next, actively challenge your initial perceptions. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? Are there skills or strengths I can develop here? By questioning your default reactions, you begin to open up alternative ways of thinking about your challenges. Another effective strategy is to use positive affirmations that reinforce a growth-oriented perspective. Statements like, I am capable of turning challenges into opportunities for growth, can fortify your resolve and change your cognitive patterns over time. To make this discussion more interactive, I'd like to pose a question to you all. Think of a recent painful or challenging experience. Now reflect on how you perceive this situation. Did your perception help you or hinder you in dealing with the challenge? Consider what might have changed if you had approached this situation with a mindset geared towards learning. Let's take a moment to share some of our thoughts and reflections. By hearing different perspectives, we not only broaden our own viewpoints, but also deepen our collective understanding of how powerful our perceptions can be. Changing our perceptions requires continuous effort. It's like exercising a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger it gets. You can cultivate this skill through mindfulness practices, which enhance your awareness of your thoughts and feelings. Mindfulness helps you catch negative thought patterns and reframe them in real time. Moreover, fostering an environment that supports a growth mindset can also play a significant role. Surround yourself with people who view challenges as opportunities. Their attitudes and the way they handle difficulties can inspire you to adopt a similar approach. In conclusion, our perception of pain plays a critical role in our ability to grow from it. By reframing our challenges as opportunities, we open ourselves up to not just endure, but to thrive. The path of growth is not about avoiding pain, but about transforming it into a catalyst for personal development and deeper understanding. So as we move forward, I encourage each of you to consider how you perceive the challenges in your life. Embrace the idea that each difficulty carries with it the seeds of growth and renewal.